Indian IT companies need to pivot to cloud technology to stay ahead of the curve. That's the advice to the likes of Wipro and Infosys. Coming in from Adobe, Shantanu Narayen. In exclusive conversation with CNBC TV18 Shereen Bhan, Narayen said that the IT industry is entering a third phase of enterprise software and companies must have the stomach to embrace the change. Here are those comments.
The Indian IT services model at this point in time is in need of disruption, or is being forced to disrupt, given what we are seeing with automation and so on and so forth, and the challenges that they face. It's probably going to only get worse from here on. Again, you know, from your experience of how you pivoted Adobe to where it is today, what would your advice be to companies like Wipro, Infosys, and TCS?
Well, I'm not the expert, and a number of good friends run all those companies. But I'll tell you what is happening, which is there was an enterprise era where people deployed enterprise software behind the firewalls. And so companies like Infosys or Wipro or TCS were the experts in enabling IT departments to install that, and they built extremely lucrative, successful businesses. With the move towards the cloud, people are not deploying that software anymore, and so the entire customization effort where these companies specialize in that customization behind the firewall, that's going away because people are deploying companies like Adobe or Salesforce or other companies completely in the cloud. So then the question really is, how do these companies evolve from where their primary business was deploying on-premise software to a new model of software?
How easy is it to make that transition, Shantanu?
Well, I think with all transitions, Shereen, it's about, do you have a North Star of where you want to go as a company? As people like Vishal who come in, who have tremendous product experience, or Abid now at Wipro, or Frank Dessous, I think they have the talent to now look at it and say, if there's a new opportunity and it's all software as a service, it's all cloud, and it's all mobile, what do we have as a company to completely pivot to that?
Well, it's not going to be an easy pivot for certain, but I started the show by talking about this being trend spotting with you. So let me ask you, and you build this as the experience era. What next, and what are you most excited about at this point?
Well, this experience era, I think, is just beginning. And the way we like to characterize it, the first generation of enterprise software was automating the back end. It was supply chain, it was ERP, and everybody sort of focused on that. And the power center within the enterprise tended to be the CFO, because the CFO determined what the financial system was, and then everything was built around it. The second generation of enterprise software was after the back office was the front office, which was all about productivity. And everybody said, how can we make our employees more productive? I think this next phase of enterprise software is all about the customer first. And what's that customer journey? And how can you as a customer get the service you want, whether it's at home, whether it's on your mobile device, or whether it's on the go? And so there's going to be a completely new generation of enterprise software, I think larger than either of the two prior generations, that's going to emerge. And so I think the big battle in the valley is who's going to emerge as the undisputed leader. Adobe is the undisputed leader in marketing. Others have taken other categories of that. But how that consolidates, how that comes together, that's going to be a fascinating, next decade evolution, I think, of enterprise software.